Plus, we take you live to the first tee of the Lotte Championship for the defending champs' first tee shot of the tournament. Michelle Wie hoping to get off to a hot start in Hawaii. You're watching Off Central. For home state this week with the LPGA Tour in Hawaii for the Lotte Championship. Not only is it a home game for her, but she's defending this title. We celebrated her very first LPGA Tour victory in 4 seasons, a 2-shot triumph over Angela Stanford. A really tough assignment for our crew calling the action this week. Tom Abbott and Kay Cockerell joining us live from Paradise. I would say, how are things, guys, but I think I know the answer.
Of course you do, Lisa. It's a beautiful place to be at this time of year, but it's a little more tricky for the players out on the golf course, Kay, because the wind is really blowing right now.
It is, much like it does here on a regular basis. It's blowing pretty hard. It was fairly calm for the first hour or so of play, but it's picked up mightily, and it's a challenge. Players have to really control their shots and not let their shots balloon too much and have the wind affect it.
Michelle Wie is teeing off in just about 30 minutes' time. We'll see her in our 4 hours of live coverage. And let's talk a bit about Michelle. Last year when she came here, she'd played pretty well. She had a chance to win the ANA Inspiration. This year, Kay, it's a different story. She's been a little under the weather at the beginning of the year. She hasn't had her fitness at 100%, and the results have really shown that.
It's true. It would have been nice to come to this event on her home turf with at least a couple of top 10s under her belt, but she hasn't. If you look at her stats, really nothing stands out. And the big difference from last year to this year is the fact that she's not hitting a high percentage of greens in regulation, and that could stem from missing more fairways than usual or just short-sighting herself, whatever it is. But I have a feeling that she is going to capture the magic because she loves her home state. She was here all of last week relaxing and taking it easy. She came out to Ko'olina and played several practice rounds and then went hiking in the afternoon. So she's in a good frame of mind right now.
Morgan Pressel has played well already today. She was among the morning starters. She's 5 under par with a couple of holes left at the top of the leaderboard. And this is a player that's really turned things around since the event in Singapore just about a month ago.
That's right. She went back to her old teacher, Ron Stockton. They seem to have really hooked into something that's clicked with her golf swing. She's become a lot more consistent. She's posted more rounds in the 60s. She shot, I think, a 64 second round at Kia, and then she ended up with 4 solid rounds last week or 2 weeks ago at the ANA and finished 3rd there. So good to see Morgan kind of getting her game back together, and she's no stranger to winning in Hawaii. One of her wins came on the island of Maui a few years ago.
Well, I hope we haven't jinxed Morgan, because this is for par at the 8th. 2 holes left, and that is a drop shot. So she goes back to 4 under par, tied at the top with Na-Yan Choi, who won the season opening event in 2015. So this is the leaderboard. We'll be back with you in just about 30 minutes' time. We're going to go down to the opening tee shot for Michelle Wie, but now let's go back to Lisa.
We look forward to it, Tom Kay. Thank you very much. As mentioned earlier, this is the 4th playing of the Lotte Championship. The first 3 winners all grouped together to kick things off in 2015. Michelle Wie, who will also be defending her U.S. Women's Open title in mid-July. She's playing with Suzanne Petterson, who's looking for her first LPGA title since late 2013. That's hard to believe. And Ai Miyazato, she's winless since 2012. The winner of the LPGA's first major of the season, the ANA Inspiration, will be on the course very shortly. Brittany Lincecum goes off the first tee at 6:50 Eastern. She's playing alongside MB Park and Se-Young Kim. Rosie, Brittany Lincecum, she's one of those laid-back players that you would think that she is. I watched her play a few holes of the practice round at the ANA, talked to her dad some, but what impressed me the most was during the playoff, she's high-fiving fans, she's smiling to the gallery. She doesn't seem like she's in a playoff for a major championship. So all of that being said, how do you think this win will affect her either positively or negatively?
Well, she's a raw talent. Everybody knows that, and she'd rather fish and play cards than she would practice, and she talked about that this week. But a little change of style for her. She actually admitted to going home and practicing and playing 4 of the last 5 weeks when she was there in the Tampa Bay area. As a byproduct of that, she's very excited about this week. She wants to continue moving up the world ranking. She jumped 12 spots. She's 6th in the world now. She's the 2nd American to Stacey Lewis. A year ago, she's 53rd in the world, so an indication of how much more seriously she's taking it. And if they took the team for the Olympics right now, she would be heading down to Rio.
It's amazing. She can bomb it. Her fiance is a long drive guy.
Exactly.
Perfect team there. Rosie, thank you very much.
Yep.
I don't know why I said negatively, like a major champion winning a major ever affects you negatively. but we'll forget that.
Got it.
Last year, he holed out a bunker shot to win the RBC Heritage. Coming up, Matt Kuchar tells you what he has in store. Next is an encore. Plus, Day and Sergio Garcia both wore the new shoes in the Masters. Stay right here. We are minutes away from taking you live to the first tee at the Lotte Championship to watch Michelle Wie begin her title defense. It's next only on Golf Central.
She's a different player.
She has certainly turned a corner. It's a corner everybody's been waiting for.
Finally, Michelle Wie is living up to her full potential.
She is doing it in that very special way, playing shots and doing some things that, as we say most weeks, nobody else can do.
This is one of the most important rounds of golf she has played in the last 5 years. Swinging with confidence. Oh, yeah. Wow. That is a beauty. Terrific shot from Michelle Wie.
And Michelle Wie wants to do it in style.
Welcome home and welcome back, Michelle Wie.
I'm just so happy right now. I can't really think straight. You know, I'm just so proud of myself. I just had a blast out there today. It was fun. This is a dream come true for me.
Michelle Wie's win in the 2014 Lotte Championship ignited the best season of her career, which included her first major victory, the U.S. Women's Open. In 2015, she is still looking for her first top 20 of the season. Let's go live once again to Tom Abbott and Kay Cockrell as Wie gets ready to begin her title defense. What are you all looking forward to seeing from her the most?
Well, I think, Lisa, I'm looking forward to seeing how she plays this week, considering she's on home soil, and whether that makes a big difference. I kind of think that it will.
Her big word last year was consistency. That was her goal. And so far, she hasn't really been consistent this year. So I look for her to gain some consistency this week, hitting more fairways and, above all, hitting more greens, and seeing if she can get off on the right foot today. I mean, playing in the wind is very difficult. It's easy to get off of your rhythm and off your tempo. So important for her to establish a good sense right at the start.
All three past champions playing together today: Michelle Wie, Suzanne Pettersen, and Ai Miyazato. The starter down there on the first tee is Carol Schmooze. Let's go down to Carol now.
Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the afternoon session of the 2015 Lotte Championship presented by Hershey. This is the 12:39 tee time. First off will be four-time LPGA winner, 2014 U.S. Women's Open champion, three-time U.S. Solheim Cup team member, and this year's defending champion, Hawaii's own Michelle Wie.
This is the shot that she's hit many, many times, having practiced here as a teenager.
And this is a shot we're going to see from her quite a bit today, using less than driver and trying to control the trajectory, hit that low stinger. And that's a great way to start right there.
Next on the tee, 14-time LPGA winner and two-time major champion, 7-time European Solheim Cup team member, from Norway, now living in Florida, Suzanne Pettersen.
Suzanne showing a little more consistency in the start of her season. She's missed 2 cuts, but she's had 2 top 10 finishes, including a top 10 finish at the first major.
Yeah, played well in the final round of Rancho Mirage, 67 on Sunday to finish tied for 8th. So she'll come in with a little confidence, and obviously she knows she can get it done on this golf course.
Unlike Michelle going with driver.
Nine-time LPGA Tour winner from Japan, Ai Miyazato.
Ai has really been struggling with her game, Tom. She was the mark of consistency. 3-4 years ago, but she has not had a top 10 finish in the last year and a half.
She played well in the early stages of the ANA Inspiration, but as you say, she just wasn't consistent that week. 68-74, 78-69 for Wie Zato and Rancho Mirage. She finished tied for 41st, her best finish of the year. Tied for 17th in Phoenix, so we'll hope for better things this week for Wie Zato. At the moment, Na-Yeon Choi has a 2-shot lead. We mentioned Morgan Pressel a little earlier in Golf Central. Morgan unfortunately bogeyed her final 2 holes of the day, the 8th and the 9th, so she has posted a round of 69. Further down, there's Sandra Gall, a couple under for her first round. Shen Shenfeng, a major champion, also at 2 under. Looking forward to our first round coverage of the Lotte Championship coming up at the top of the hour. Lisa?
We are looking forward to it as well, Tom and Kay. Thanks again. A bit of a slow start for Michelle Wie so far in 2015. But as our major champion, Karen Stupples, appropriately pointed out a couple weeks ago at the ANA Inspiration, Wie has struggled with injury and illness some this season, and rebounding from compounding issues makes it tough to return to form quite as quickly. Rosie, you spoke with Michelle's instructor, David Ledbetter, earlier today. Other than illness, other than injury, is there anything going on with her golf swing that's contributing to some of these struggles?
Just what always goes on with her swing. She's guilty of tinkering, overanalyzing, and when she's playing with confidence, it's when she's not overthinking. As a matter of fact, the joke between Ledbetter and Wie is that she wouldn't write just one instruction book. She would write 50 with all the different swing thoughts, she said. And David said that even Michelle's dad, BJ, has been going crazy lately because she wants to change her swing 4 times in a week.
It's a common issue. Happens a lot out there, especially when you're working and grinding and trying to get back to major championship form. Funny you mentioned that. I actually spoke with David at ANA, and he said that they're really trying to focus and get her feels back that she had at the U.S. Women's Open. That's certainly a good thing to replicate.
And then you hear that, you know, that stinger shot is good for her and everything, but physically it's not. You talk to her strength and performance coach, Dave Donatucci. That's a reason that she had some of the injury issues she had last year.
Makes perfect sense. Well, her victory here last year snapped a 4-year winless streak and led to the best season of Michelle Wie's career. Watch her defend her crown at the Lotte Championship tonight at 7 Eastern on Golf Channel. It's also available streaming on the Golf Live Extra app.